Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Brandon Inglesby with Wolves Group at LPT Realty. Today, I wanted to talk to you about basically the flipping process. If you're looking to flip houses, this is definitely a video that you're gonna wanna watch in its entirety. I'm gonna break down everything from how to choose the market that you're flipping in. Sometimes it's not as simple as where you live, all the way to if you don't have cash, how to obtain hard money financing until basically the listing and selling of the property and putting that money back into your pocket so you can then move on to the next project. Like I said, my name is Brandon Inglesby. I've been in the real estate industry now for 6 years, primarily on the sales side. However, recently I actually made the choice to start doing house flips on the side, and so far it's going really good. So I just wanted to share some of this insight and knowledge that I've obtained through the process of my first few flips, get that knowledge back to you guys, and then hopefully we can all learn together and progress and make a lot of money. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and let's get started. So one of the most important parts of flips is what market you're gonna choose to do all of your flips in. Now, the biggest thing with which market you pick is gonna be the amount of inventory that there actually is on the market. The less inventory, and if there's solid demand, that is gonna basically make the home sell for more, and it's gonna make them sell a lot quicker. The most important thing when it comes to house flips is, you want to do quality work, but you need to get the work done fast. You need to get it turned over. You need to get the money back in your pocket so you can move on to the next thing, so you can basically compound your returns more times. If you can flip your money 3-4 times in a year as opposed to once or twice, I'm sure you can imagine that is going to be a vast different amount to your bottom line at the end of the year. I do recommend that you do choose a market that is near you. I'm not saying you have to live in that market, but it is best to have your first flip somewhere that you can visually go and see the work being done, where it's at in the process. Talk to your contractor about the work that you're doing, what you want to get done. You don't want to be doing this, especially your first time, blindly. I personally live in Daytona Beach. I have 2 flips in Daytona. I've got one over in St. Pete, which is totally west side of Florida, going on right now. That is definitely a little different for me, not being there all the time, seeing what's happening. But this is kind of a side thing for me. So the fact that I partnered with the right contractors to do this work, ones that I trust, know will do a good job, makes that a lot less stressful. So the next big thing is to get all of your contacts, together and in order. What contractor are you going to use? What realtor are you going to use? What title company are you going to use? And if you need it, what lender are you going to use? As far as contractors go, you really want to find someone who has worked with investors before, has worked with people that constantly do house flips. It's really good if they have multiple crews, so as you scale, they can scale with you. You can get volume. A lot of times if you do a lot of work through one contractor, they'll reduce the labor costs down, which is really nice, obviously. Now, of course, you never want to beat your contractor up, too much. They can only go down to a certain point, even with a lot of volume. But as long as you guys are fair to each other, there can be a long-lasting working relationship with that same contractor. Now, realtors, you want to find a realtor that understands investment numbers, that can take into account, are you paying cash? Are you using hard money? What are your hard money loan costs gonna be? Because that has to be factored into the spread there as well. You want to find someone who is willing to put offers on stuff for you that are, shall I say, lowball or substandard offers. You don't want somebody who's not going to submit these offers for you if you ask. Now, me personally, I would love to help you guys put offers in on things if you are ready to get going on the flip process. I'm more than happy to guide you through the initial process, as well as help you out through the flip, where to spend money on, where not to spend money on. I'm more than happy to be that resource for anyone out there who's doing stuff in Florida that would like to use me to help them through the process. Now, the next thing is going to be finding a title company. It is good to build a solid relationship with the title company. It is an important piece when it comes to buying and selling the home. I personally like using the same title company just for consistency. You know them, you know that they communicate well, you know that they, run a good title search, and that property is going to be passed, free and clear. And you really don't have to worry about there being any clouds on the title. And if there is something, they do find it, which is nice. Now, as far as lenders go, this one's a bit tricky. Personally, when I first thought about hard money, I thought that it was going to be really easy, that you basically sign, your name, if the deal makes sense, and money falls out of the sky. That is not the case, unfortunately. It is a little more intensive than I thought it'd be with the amount of paperwork, and they need specific types of insurance depending on the lender. It is an expensive loan to get. However, I just factor it into the cost of doing the deal. And if the numbers work, the numbers work. I will say that you need to be careful of various junk fees, because a lot of times they'll say, it's 2 points up front, which 2 points is 2% of the loan amount, and say 12% interest. Now, that doesn't sound too awful, depending on your perspective. But once they add in a $1,500 or $2,000 loan origination fee, some kind of processing fee, who knows, a filing fee. Like, a lot of these guys will just throw in $150, $300, $500 fees. They'll require you sometimes to get, like most times, to get a survey done on the property. Still, you got to pay anywhere from $500 to $800 for an appraisal. This is all stuff that you have to understand. Also, if you're borrowing money through the hard money lender, also for the rehab costs, are they charging interest on that rehab cost the whole time, or just when you make your draws, once you actually pull the money out? That is, that stuff adds up. So it's important to understand all of this going in. And that's another big reason that speed is a big part of flipping these houses. Is if you're borrowing money and you're paying daily interest, you want to get that property sold as quick as possible. I mean, obviously it's very simple math there. If you're spending $50 a day in interest, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it does start to cut, into your profit margin the longer that you hold that property. So the next thing is going to be actually finding the deals. How do I find a property that I am going to flip? And to be honest with you guys, I've been in real estate for 6 years now, and I thought the hardest part of flipping was going to be finding these crazy deals. How do I find something that I can put, 60, 70, 80,000, 100 grand into and still make a profit on it after paying commissions and other closing costs? How am I going to do that? And it's kind of funny because, to be honest with you, that ended up being, in my opinion, one of the easiest parts. And I'm not saying that just because I'm an insider in the business, but I'm saying that because all it took was a little bit of effort and focus and just a couple nights of looking, on Facebook groups and things like that for wholesalers, which I'm about to get into that. So one of the big ways that I like to find deals is through wholesalers. Wholesalers are people that flip contracts. So they go out and they do all the hard work. They do the grind work of it and go out and find a deal, that's got, I don't know, maybe up to a 40% spread, not including the work, 70, whatever. And basically you buy the contract off of them and close, instead of them closing, you close on that deal. And to me, I found this to be a great way to find deals because I'm very busy. I've got 20 something agents under me that I help out, day to day. And I don't have time to go out there and door knock entire neighborhoods or cold call giant lists of people that, are in pre-foreclosure or going through divorces or estates, back taxes, which are some ways that you can search for and off-market stuff. But I just found that wholesalers, I'd rather them make, I don't know, call it 10 grand on selling me a contract than me spend countless hours hunting for those off-market deals myself. And of course, another way of getting business outside of wholesalers and those other things that I had mentioned is going to be just on the MLS. You'd be surprised. I've gotten, great deals on the MLS itself, 40, 50, 60 grand off asking price. And it might seem like you're not going to find it, but if you just search with the right keywords, you can find things that need a lot of work. And if the person's ready to get rid of the property, they will entertain a serious offer. And that's just how it is. If you have something that needs, 60, 70, 80 grand worth of work, there's only going to be so many people out there that are willing to buy it. So just getting your offer out there with a proof of funds, you'd be surprised what people will end up taking, especially, like I said, if the house needs a lot of work. Now, of course, as you start to finish, your first flip project, or if you got a couple going on at the same time, whatever, it is important to use a good real estate agent to get the home listed and sold. Now, I will say, like me personally, if I'm working with somebody that is going to do multiple flips a year, I will work them out a great rate on the commission. A lot of agents won't do that. I don't know why. I look at things as though if it's volume, it's volume. A lot of these agents are very stubborn on their commissions. They won't fluctuate their commissions. But at the end of the day, you're running a flipping business, so it's important to put as much money back in your pocket as possible, so you can move on to the next project and do it again. Now, of course, we all have to be fair, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a real estate professional, but you do, have to understand that they do need to get paid as well. But the listing agent, let's say they get 1.5%, and then you pay out the buy side 2.5%. You don't want to pay out less than 2.5%. You want to attract as many buyers as possible, things like that. So having a good real estate agent that is still going to give you absolutely full service for that reduced rate is going to be a really good route to go. And I highly recommend using the same realtor over and over if they do a good job, so that way you guys build a strong working relationship together. And of course, like I said, if anyone out there can use any assistance, through the flipping process, learning the flipping process, getting their flips sold, like I said, at a reduced rate, all my information is going to be down in the description. So just give me a call or text anytime. But it is really important when you're listing this property, if it makes sense, if it's a good property for an open house, you want to do open houses. If it is a home in a really great area, drone shots. And of course, you want to have, professional photography done at all of your flips. It makes the world of difference. If there's one thing I can say, do not go for sale by owner on your flips. You're a real estate flipper. You're not a real estate agent. Don't spend your time doing what a realtor should be doing for you. You should be moving on to the next deal, finding the next deal, working your full-time job if you have a full-time job. But let each professional do what they do best. Like, you let your contractor do the work. You let the title company handle the title paperwork. You let your lender, do the lending paperwork and lend you the money. Let your realtor sell the house. And like I said, if you work out a reduced commission, it doesn't really matter to you anyways. You factor in that cost up front. It's a cost of doing business. You will get more money in your pocket ultimately by using a real estate agent and getting that top dollar for that house. So anyways, like I said, my name is Brandon Inglesby. I'm with Wolves Group at LPT. I also flip houses, and I hope that these tips helped you out. I'm always open to questions. There's going to be my Instagram and all my contact information down in the bottom. I'll answer any DM that you send me. I will answer calls, texts, any questions that you have, any questions in the comments. I look forward to helping out as many of you as possible. If you just have general questions, if you're not ready to do anything yet, please feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to help out in any way that I can. And I look forward to seeing you guys complete your first flips or help you guys scale your, flipping business as a whole. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.